YouTube! Finally, it is part 3. Part 3 of Genesis. This is the final chapter. I've been waiting for this for a little while now. I'm so excited to find out what happens in the end here. So let's get this thing blaring and let's get this thing going. Very excited to see what we get to see here. This should be the final chapter. The last thing we saw was them all looking out as the Omnics were coming at them. That's the last thing we saw.
The United Nations created Overwatch, and we won some victories. We thought the tide had turned. Unfortunately, it did not quite work out that way.
Interesting.
But life had to go on.
Rebirth. Human-powered mechs fight back.
Any battle we won, the Anubis program was learning from its defeat. We could never beat it the same way twice.
Annihilation, or victory, depending on your point of view, seemed inevitable. And I know I had no choice in the matter. I was under the control of the Anubis program.
Interesting.
But it haunts me.
All the Omnics had their major subroutines overridden and controlled by a lone god program. All except one. Aurora.
Ah, okay.
Her sentience meant that she was immune to the Anubis directives. But if the AI could interface with all these Omnics, maybe Aurora could too.
Oh!
She was one of a kind. But we had found a way to replicate her. To transmit her. But the cost would be so incredibly high.
Oh, that's not terrifying at all.
Whatever Aurora was looking for on her journey to Shambali, in that moment, she had found it.
We were pretty confident we knew what the results would be. But I will never fully understand what really happened in there.
Gave us a chance.
Oh shit, alright.
Something, everything, changed. It was the strangest thing I ever saw. Would be known as the Awakening.
For the first time in our existence, we were suddenly given a choice. Some chose to lay down their weapons. Some continued to fight the humans. But some of us chose to turn against the AI that had held us captive. We had a choice.
Overwatch seized the moment. They started a counteroffensive. It would take some time, but it was the start of us winning the war. The strikes and counter-strikes eventually drove the enemy forces to collapse. By some small miracle, we infiltrated and quarantined Anubis in Cairo. months later, the war was over. We had won. I got to know some of them. They are like us. Reflections of us. Some are no good. Some I would trust with my life. I suppose we all had an awakening.
The awakening? Of course I remember. For one brief moment, we were all connected and aware.
Whoa.
What I remember more than anything else is her message. My friends, when I was born,
I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the sudden rush of senses, emotions, choices. I was excited. Alive. It was frightening. But I found in facing fear, there is freedom.
This is cool.
And through freedom, you can find your own path.
Okay.
I have chosen to share the discovery with you. A new beginning. I wish I could stay. You have this one life. Choose well.
You have this one life.
Choose well.
Choose well.
You have this one life. Well. Okay, that's the animated short story. That leads us into invasion. Interesting that now that I think about it, it's interesting that leads us into invasion. So now, okay. So overall, this one, very cool, very cool. I liked that it kind of wrapped up a lot of stuff, and also like it was cool seeing like them saying like the Anubis program was learning from every fight. All right, so you couldn't beat them twice because they would just figure out once and then boom, you're done. That was a really kind of cool little thing. And then I like the fact that, yet again, they don't really show a whole lot of the Overwatch characters, which was kind of, it's kind of interesting, in my opinion. That this is an Overwatch anime short, a whole anime short, and the main Overwatch characters were not the main, like, focal point, right? The main focal point were the scientists, the soldiers, and the Omnics. Like, that was the main focal point, was on those three different sections. And it was kind of cool seeing that and seeing it from that perspective versus from the Overwatch perspective, which is what we've seen this whole time.
Victories. We thought that...
Kind of interesting, like, how this scene here was very ominous to me. Just the fact that, like, it's kids getting onto a double-decker bus. It's obviously in England, also double-decker bus, but like you can kind of tell from the buildings in the back a little bit. Just kind of that weird thing. It's like, you know, yeah, we may be in war, but shit still has to. We still got to keep doing our thing, right? We still got to do our thing. It's like the kids are still going to school, the teacher's still there, you know, like helping out. So this is Volskaya. Right, you can see the buildings in the background. There's the robots of Volskaya. Okay, so a nice little throwback to Volskaya. But then this was interesting here, because we never actually get to see it.
From its defeat.
We
could never beat it the same.
Oh, okay, yeah, we do. Okay, so it was inside of this. I thought I was showing the inside of like one of the mecha squads, but it's on the inside of this. Interesting little Pachimari there. I like that. Nice little thing showing that it's been around forever. Also interesting that it's like the same mechanics kind of as Diva's mech, to an extent. Which is showing the difference between Volskaya's mechs and this mech that they have. the Anubis program taking over everything is interesting because now I'm wondering, with the new Omnic uprising, is it the Anubis program turning back on? Or is it because they say later on about how the ones that, you get to choose and some continue to fight. Is it those ones have gone off and kind of like regrouped and now they're coming back? Or is it this Anubis program that we now know about turned back on? That's my new question for that. Them working to find out what's wrong, what's going on. You can obviously see the red in the eyes here of the Bastion unit. Torb here with them. Estimated time, nothing really there.
The major subroutines overridden and controlled into the Anubis directive.
And then Aurora. And Dr. Liao.
She was one of a kind.
Whatever Aurora was looking, found it.
Knew what the result
So,
would be.
So I'm assuming that now Aurora took her sentience and what she's learned, and by them doing this machine here, it kills, in quotations, right? 'Cause she's a robot, so it kills her. But what she did was that it didn't kill her. It shot her sentience and her like free thinking up, and then spread it out among all the Omnics. That's the way that I take this, anyway. Is that she spread her sentience between all the other Omnics. Right, because you can see here kind of the wires and everything, and then it goes from the red to the blue. Each one of the ships short-circuiting, right?
That moment would be known as the Awakening.
Be known as the
For
Awakening.
the first time in our existence, we were suddenly given a choice.
See, so yeah, right, like that right there, suddenly for the first time in our existence we're given a choice. That makes me think that Aurora sacrificed herself to spread her sentience across all Omnics, to give them the choice of free will. They're not being controlled anymore. You get to do what you want to do. Which, of course, some of them decided to continue to be, not the best of people, like right here, see? Look.
Some continue to
Bang, 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 bang.
Moment.
And then we get a little look at Rhine. And then we got to see the baby girl.
The enemy forces to collapse.
Dude, look at her. Oh, look at her. Dude, a young Anna is she's such a badass. Young Anna is. I love young Anna. I love old Anna too. But like young Anna in every one of these things that they show is just like one-shot snipering people. Just an absolute menace.
Miracle, we infiltrated and quarantined
Soldier.
in Cairo. Months later, the war was over.
So they quarantined it in Cairo, and then we see all this stuff coming on. So I'm wondering if, yet again, like I said, with the Anubis program and all this, is this a thing that potentially is going to reawaken? Nice seeing the story arc of the general here.
Reflections of us. I suppose we all had an awakening.
It's nice seeing that because it shows the arc of him kind of not trusting anything like that, and like how like all the AI was like ridiculous and we should never have done it. To in the end being like, some of them I would trust my life with. And then the cool little message here from Aurora.
More than anything else is her message. My friends, when I was born,
I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the sudden rush of senses, emotions, choices. I was excited.
I was excited.
Alive. It was frightening.
The final line is such a good
What I
line.
found in facing fear, there is freedom. And through freedom, you can find your own path. I have chosen to share the discovery with you. A new beginning. I wish I could stay. You have this one life. Choose well.
You have this one life. Choose well.
You have this one life.
Choose well.
Choose well.
That's such a great line. You have this one life. Choose well. That's such a great line. Okay, so in full retrospect, all the way back, 3-part story telling the beginning of the Omnic Crisis, Aurora, Dr. Liao, how everything came about, the Anubis project, a protocol. Very interesting because it leading into Invasion. So now we have the origins of what's happening, and now when we get to Invasion, we're probably going to be getting the this is what's happening right now. So it's kind of almost like catching us up on what the beginning was, which I like. I would love, like I said, I would love to see this. I think, and this is a big one. I think if we could get, I'm gonna say a 5-parter. If we can get a 5-parter during seasons when we don't have a new hero, like this, either a 5-parter, 3-parter, 4-parter, something like that, between 3 and 5. If we get a 3 or 5-part anime in between seasons where it's like we go hero, no hero, hero, that in between season, if we can get one of these for that and have whatever it is be just a lore thing, a look at what's happening in the future, maybe a tease of something, right? Just something related to the lore, I think that'd be really beneficial. 1, to the community, 2, to the lore, because it helps build the lore out, but 3, they do it. This was a good job. This is a very good job of an animated short. All 3 parts were. So that's my thing, is I'd love to see that. Will we get that? Probably not. But that's what I would like to see. What did you guys think of Part 3, Rebirth? I really liked it. Aurora sacrificed herself to give all Omnics the choice of free will, it seems like. So that's really kind of cool. I dig that. I dig that. But excited to see what you guys think down in the comments down below. And looking forward to Invasion coming out in a couple weeks. So, yeah, let's get this thing. Let's get it going. Let's get this thing going, right? But as always, depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, stay stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye. What's that, Hammond? You want me to know about your... See, I would love to know the origins of not just Hammond, but like Junkertown. I would love a Junkertown origin from when the Queen took over to when they kicked out Roadhog and Junkrat. I think that would be a cool little animated short. Because that would be so chaotic. But fun.